Hey friends, here are a few things to keep in mind this week and a couple of practices I'd love for you to lean into as you have some conversation with your child. So what does love look like? Well, love looks like being patient and kind and not making a list of people's mistakes. And as a parent, this can be really tough. I know as a parent, one of the struggles that I've had is that I seem to keep this running list of how many times I've told my kids to do something. And I think it took me a long time to realize that one of the best ways that I can demonstrate love to my children is to demonstrate patience and to not remind them of how many times that they've missed my clear instructions. And so one of the temptations in our life as a parent is a temptation around sort of keeping track of areas in the life of our kids where they might be struggling, like mental preoccupation with the mistakes that they're making. And maybe you never do this, maybe this isn't a struggle for you, but this has been something I've really had to work through, and I've really had to pay attention and to sort of retrain myself about what I focus on. And the thing that's helped me work through this is this idea that God does not keep a list of my mistakes. God does not keep a record of my wrongs. And I may have mentioned this before, but I think it bears repeating is this, that we learn to love others by watching the way that God loves us. This is the work of spiritual formation in the way of Jesus. And so this week, I want you to pay attention to your own impatience with your child. And maybe begin to wonder in prayer whether the impatience is maybe really rooted in a sort of a secret list of things that are frustrating you about your child's behavior. Listen, I know that you love your child, but I think these kinds of things can kind of creep in. Like maybe there's even some bitterness that has crept in your heart and in your life as a parent as it relates to your child. So I wonder if you might consider with me, like, what are some of the conditions in your heart towards your child? Like, what has happened in there? And maybe spend some time trying to replace the secret list of mistakes that you might be carrying, like with a list of moments when your child is at their best, their most loving and their most affectionate. One of my favorite authors, Father Jacques Philippe, who's a French monk who's still living today and writing. And he reminds us of God's patience when he writes this. We must reason as follows. If the Lord has still not transformed this person, has not relieved him of such and such an imperfection, it is because he puts up with him as he is. He waits with patience for the opportune moment. Then I must do likewise. I must pray and be patient. Why be more demanding and impatient than God? So love is patient, and it does not keep a list of people's wrongs. It keeps no accounts. And so this week, spend a little time at bedtime helping your child review their day. And I want you to try to pay particular attention to helping your child think about what opportunities they may have for loving others throughout their day. Ask your child this week whether there was anyone they were able to show kindness to today or anyone they found hard to love today. So questions like, is there anyone whose mistakes you're holding on to? Would be an example of a good question that you could ask from time to time. And these questions, they're good practice for self-reflection, helping your child begin to learn that there are things happening beneath the surface that require a little attention to become aware of. I'd love to encourage you again to read out loud with your child the love passage in 1 Corinthians 13, and maybe spend some time this week specifically talking about patience and kindness and not keeping a list of people's mistakes. Okay, I think that's enough work for this week. Have fun, pay attention to the work of God in your own life, and nurture whatever God is doing in the life of your child. Blessings to you.